Welcome to Musicandlifekm. Today, we're diving into the top 5 singles from the Billboard Year-End Hot 100 chart of 1997. Let's explore the unforgettable hits that defined the year and left their mark on pop music history. Number 5.
Can't Nobody Hold Me Down. Year-end position on Billboard Singles Hot 105. Songwriter Mase and Betha. Producers Nashia Myrick, Carlos Brody, Sean Puffy Combs, Stevie J. Release date January 7, 1997. Recorded 1996. Genre hip-hop. The first single that accompanies us in this new episode of Top 5 Songs is performed by the American rapper Puff Daddy. Released on January 7, 1997, it became the first single from the rapper's debut studio album No Way Out from the same year. The single entered the Billboard Hot 100 at position number 32 at the beginning of '97, later spending 6 weeks at number 1. It would mark the beginning of a successful run for the label Bad Boy Records, which the rapper was involved in, with other hits like Notorious B.I.G.'s Hypnotize also reaching the top of the chart, followed by another single by Combs himself, I'll Be Missing You, which would stay for 7 weeks at number 1. After them came M.O. Money M.O. Problems by B.I.G. and the single produced by Combs for Mariah Carey, Honey. As always, the intrinsic lack of originality found in most singles of the genre is evident, combining well-known samples like The Message by Grandmaster Flash and The Furious Five, with additional touches from the 1983 hit Break My Stride by Matthew Wilder, and also sampling the drums from Michael Jackson's Rock With You, 1979. This clearly shows the definitive lack of creativity in the genre overall and marks the beginning of the decline of mainstream music, something we can start to see from this very chart onwards, where songs lost originality, showed a lack of effort and quality, and at the same time reflected the consequences of marketing driven by sectors of society that weren't exactly the most orthodox, and apparently not too friendly with the principles and values that support a healthier, cleaner society with a promising future. It's a rather personal view, and for those who might not find it quite right, I'd kindly invite you to take a look at the history of music, and especially this genre, to better understand what I mean in depth. Other year-end charts it appeared on. 1997. Germany, official German charts 82. UK Urban Music Week 11. Billboard US Hot R&B/Hip-Hop Songs 4. Decade-end charts 1990 to 1999. Canada, Nielsen SoundScan 16. US Billboard Hot 100 27. All-time charts 1958 to 2018. Billboard US Billboard Hot 100 286. Certifications: United States, IA 2 times platinum.
Number 4.
Unbreak My Heart. Year-end position on Billboard Singles Hot 104. Songwriter Diane Warren. Producer David Foster. Release date October 7, 1996. Written 1995. Genre pop R&B. The second guest in this episode of Top 5 Songs is a track performed by American singer Toni Braxton for her second studio album Secrets from 1996. The song, created by the acclaimed songwriter Diane Warren, was also produced by the renowned David Foster. Combined with Braxton's great vocal quality, this pretty much guaranteed a strong reception within the music industry. Released as the second single from the album on October 7, 1996, under the LaFace Records label, the song would go on to win Best Female Pop Vocal Performance at the 39th Annual Grammy Awards in 1997. With sales exceeding 10 million copies worldwide, almost 3 million of them in the United States alone, it stands as one of the best-selling songs of all time. As the previous comment hints, the single became a worldwide success, reaching number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100 in the United States, where it spent 11 weeks at the top. It also topped the Dance Club Play and Adult Contemporary charts from the same publication. In the celebration of 40 years of the Billboard Hot 100, 1958 to 1998, the song was declared the most successful track by a solo artist in the chart's history. In Europe, the song reached the top 5 in more than 10 countries, hitting number 1 in Austria, Belgium, Romania, Sweden, and Switzerland. Toni Braxton performed the single at the opening ceremony of the Billboard Music Awards in 1996. And as a curious note, it has even been covered by the group Weezer, among others. Among the various reviews and comments from that era, we can recall a few. For example, Mark Edward Nero for About.com listed it as one of the best R&B breakup songs and described it as Braxton's finest moment. He also added, "Damn, this song is so sad it can make people cry for hours at a time." Meanwhile, Larry Flick wrote for Billboard, a pop/R&B ballad that casts her in the role she plays best, as the forlorn heroine in a romance on the rocks, adding, "She maximizes the melodrama of David Foster's savvy blend of stately strings and soulful rhythms, moving from a dewy-eyed whisper to a diva-like belt with theatrical ease." Hit machine tunesmith Diane Warren has not written a song this lyrically potent and heartfelt in a long time. In September 1996, from Gavin Report, David Sholin noted, "Most who hear this Diane Warren composition, which was produced with skillful guidance by David Foster, will need to take a few seconds before breathing normally again." In the same month. And from Spin magazine, Charles Aaron commented humorously and positively, "This exquisitely crafted, heart-pumping LUE song has been droning in the produce department of my grocery store for about a year now, but I'd just like to go on record as saying that if it ever stops, I'll really be heartbroken." In May 1997. In terms of charts, the journey of Unbreak My Heart took it to the number 1 position on the Billboard Hot 100 for 11 weeks, from the week of December 7, 1996, until February 15, 1997. It also spent 14 weeks atop the adult contemporary chart from the same publication. Later, it was ranked as the 4th most popular song of the decade, 1990 to 1999, on the Decade-End Hot 100 chart. Additionally, by 2008, Unbreak My Heart was listed as the 10th most popular song of all time by Billboard. Interestingly, it never reached number 1 on the Hot R&B Singles chart, where it stalled for 4 weeks at number 2, behind R. Kelly's single I Believe I Can Fly. The song was also certified platinum by the Recording Industry Association of America. In the UK, the single entered the charts at number 4 during the week of November 4, 1996. 2 weeks later, it peaked at number 1. From the British phonographic industry, it received double platinum certification. Down under in Australia, it reached number 6 and was certified platinum by the Australian Recording Industry Association. Other year-end charts it appeared on. 1996. Europe, Eurochart Hot 180. Netherlands, Dutch Top 40 15. Netherlands, Single Top 110. Sweden 9. UK Singles, Official Charts Company 13. Billboard. US Hot R&B Singles, 87. US Top 40/Rhythm Crossover, 62. 1997. Australia, ARIA 34. Austria, 03 Austria Top 46. Belgium, Ultra Top 50 Flanders 13. Belgium, Ultra Top 50 Wallonia 8. Canada Top Singles, RPM 32. Canada Adult Contemporary, RPM 2. Europe, Eurochart Hot 106. France, SNP 29. Germany, Media Control 13. Romania, Romanian Top 105. Sweden 17. Switzerland 7. UK Singles, Official Charts Company 13. Billboard. US Adult Top 40, 21. US Adult Contemporary, 1. US Dance Club Play 1. US Hot R&B Singles 18. US Maxi Singles Sales 2. US Rhythmic Top 40 6. US Top 40/Mainstream 14. Decade-End Charts 1990 to 1999. US Billboard Hot 100 4. All-Time Charts 1958 to 2018. US Billboard Hot 100 15. Certifications: Australia, ARIA Platinum. UK, BPI 2 times Platinum. United States, RIA Platinum.
Number 3.
I'll Be Missing You. Year-end position on Billboard Singles Hot 103. Songwriters: Faith Evans, Todd Gaither, Gordon Sumner, Albert Brumley, Samuel Barber, Quinns Parker, Darren Jones, Marvin Skandrick, Stephen Jordan, Michael Keith. Producer: Stevie J. Release date: May 27, 1997. Recorded 1997. Genre: hip-hop/rap. The third guest in this part of Top 5 Songs is a single performed by Puff Daddy and Faith Evans, along with 112, created to honor Christopher the Notorious B.I.G. Wallace, Evans' husband, who was murdered in March 1997. The song would become the second single from Puff Daddy and the family's debut album No Way Out, also released in 1997. As it's easy to notice, this isn't really an original song, since once again it heavily borrows from earlier tracks, most obviously from the 1983 single Every Breath You Take by The Police, which, by the way, Billboard named the fifth most significant song of the 1980s. It also takes elements from the 1929 hymn I'll Fly Away by Albert E. Brumley, plus the choral work Adagio for strings by Samuel Barber. Basically, as is often the case in this genre, it becomes to music what China has been to industry, a practice of copying and reassembling rather than creating from scratch. At the 40th Annual Grammy Awards, the song would go on to win Best Rap Performance by a Duo or Group. It also spent 11 weeks atop the US Billboard Hot 100, and reached number 1 in 15 other regions. In Iceland, it was the best performing single of 1997, and it also topped year-end charts in places like the Netherlands, Dutch Top 40, and Romania. With sales exceeding 3 million copies in the United States and more than 1 million each in Germany and the United Kingdom, the song has become one of the best-selling singles of all time. Regions where the single notably hit number 1 include the United States, the United Kingdom, Australia, Denmark, Belgium, Germany, Iceland, Ireland, Lithuania, the Netherlands, New Zealand, Norway, Poland, Romania, Spain, Sweden, and Switzerland. The single debuted directly at number 1 on the US Billboard Hot 100, becoming the first track to do so until Eminem repeated the feat 13 years later in 2010 with Not Afraid. Furthermore, with its 11 weeks at number 1, it held the record for the longest-running rap number 1 until Eminem's Lose Yourself spent 12 weeks there in 2002. Interestingly, the single re-entered the UK charts at number 32 in July 2007, a full decade after originally being number 1. And as of July 2023, it is the 22nd best-selling single of all time in the United Kingdom. Other year-end charts it appeared on: 1997, Australia ARIA 4, Austria 03 Austria Top 42, Belgium Ultra Top 50 Flanders 4, Belgium Ultra Top 50 Wallonia 13, Canada Top Singles RPM 36, Canada Dance/Urban RPM 7, Europe Eurochart Hot 102, France S&P 8, Germany 2, Iceland 1, Netherlands Dutch Top 41, Netherlands Single Top 102, New Zealand Rians 2, Romania Romanian Top 101, Sweden 2, Switzerland 2, UK Singles Official Charts Company 3, Billboard US Hot R&B Singles 2, US Hot Rap Singles 1, US Maxi Singles 1, US Rhythmic Top 44, US Top 40/Mainstream 32. Decade-end charts 1990 to 1999. Austria 03 Austria Top 40 28. Belgium Ultra Top 50 Flanders 15. Canada Nielsen SoundScan 4. US Billboard Hot 110. All-time charts 1958 to 2018. US Billboard Hot 100 105. Certifications: Australia ARIA 2 times Platinum, Austria IFPI 2 times Platinum, Belgium BRMA 4 times Platinum, Canada Music Canada Platinum, Denmark IFPI Denmark Gold, Germany BV My 3 times Gold, Bad Boy Records version, and 3 times Platinum, Arista USA version. New Zealand, RMNZ 3 times Platinum. United Kingdom, BPI 4 times Platinum. United States, RIA 3 times Platinum. Key release dates: Japan, July 22, 1997 CD. United Kingdom, June 16, 1997 CD, cassette, 12-inch vinyl. United States, May 27, 1997 CD.
Number 2.
You Were Meant for Me / Foolish Games. Year-end position on Billboard Singles Hot 100. 2. Songwriters: Jewel Kilcher, Steve Poltz. Producers: Ben Keith, Peter Collin. Release date: October 15, 1996. Genre: pop. The fourth entry in this top 5 songs list actually combines 2 singles performed by American singer Jewel. The first, You Were Meant for Me, and the second, Foolish Games. You Were Meant for Me comes from her debut studio album, Pieces of You, released in 1995. It became the album's second single, peaking at number 2 on the US Billboard Hot 100 for 2 weeks, and topping Billboard's Adult Contemporary chart for 1 week. In 1997, the song was re-released alongside the then unreleased track Foolish Games. This combination allowed it to climb back into the Hot 100, peaking at number 7, and ultimately staying on the chart for a total of 65 weeks, which was a record at the time. Internationally, the single reached number 3 in Australia, number 2 in Canada, and number 32 in the UK. Together, Foolish Games / You Were Meant for Me was ranked number 15 in the Billboard All-Time Top 100 in 2008. By Billboard's 55th anniversary in 2013, it was still within the top 20, at number 17. Jewel would later re-record You Were Meant for Me for her Greatest Hits album, performing it as a duet with the country trio Pistol Annies. As a fun fact, the original version, known as the Juan Patino Radio Mix, only appeared on a promotional LP called Phyllis Barnaby Finally Gets a Bra in 1996 and was commercially released only in Canada, on a Various Artists compilation that same year. The more familiar radio version was issued on CD single and in the 1997 re-release of Pieces of You. The song went to radio in October 1996, and after its commercial release, reached number 2 on the Billboard Hot 100 by April 1997. As You Were Meant for Me began to decline on the charts, radio programmers turned to the B-side, Foolish Games, which started gaining traction and effectively became the new A-side. Even when the single was pulled from circulation in July 1997, the ongoing popularity of both songs on the Hot 100 led to its re-release in October 1997. With both sides rising, it returned to the top 10, peaking at number 7 in November. By December, it had spent its 56th week on the Hot 100, surpassing the previous record set by Missing by Everything But the Girl, and ultimately reaching 65 total weeks on the chart. Some contemporary reviews, Steve Balton of Cashbox in his Pick of the Week, wrote that You Were Meant for Me is this simple, charming pop ditty shows why Jewel's star is rising at a meteoric rate, with no sign of slowing down, adding, a staple of VH1 and AAA for the past couple of months, Jewel has just landed a role in the star-studded pop version of The Wizard of Oz. The ensuing publicity from that, coupled with the previous success of Who Will Save Your Soul, should break this song out in a big way. It couldn't happen to a more deserving artist or song. In late November 1995. Meanwhile, Dana Darzan noted it was a sweetly affecting, charming tune whose easy groove showcases her effortless, lovely voice. In late September of the following year, awards and recognitions for You Were Meant for Me. 1997 MTV Video Music Awards. Best Female Video winner. Viewer's Choice nominated. Video of the Year nominated. Other year-end charts. 1997. Australia, ARIA 25. Canada Top Singles, RPM 2. Canada Adult Contemporary, RPM 4. Billboard. US Adult Contemporary 3. US Adult Top 40, 4. US Top 40/Mainstream, 2. US AAA, 22. 1998. Billboard, US Hot 187. Decade-end charts, 1990 to 1999. Billboard US Hot 105. All-time charts, 2023. US Billboard Hot 100, 22. Certifications: Australia, ARIA Platinum. New Zealand, RMNZ Gold. United States, IA Platinum. Release dates: United States, October 15, 1996, Contemporary Hit Radio. November 12, 1996, CDE cassette. October 7, 1997, CDE cassette, re-release. United Kingdom, November 10, 1997, CDE cassette. Single name, Foolish Games. Year-end position on Billboard Singles Hot 100. 2. Songwriter Jewel Kilcher. Producer Peter Collin. Release date July 8, 1997. Genre pop. Naturally, it's important to add that Foolish Games also came from her debut album Pieces of You, 1995. It became the album's third single and was included on the Batman and Robin soundtrack in 1997. This soundtrack version was slightly edited for radio, shortening it by a verse, just as she had previously done with Who Will Save Your Soul and You Were Meant for Me. Though Foolish Games was never officially released as a standalone single in the US, it was the B-side to You Were Meant for Me. Its growing popularity caused Billboard, under the rules at the time, to begin counting it as the new A-side. As we mentioned earlier, this led to the re-release as Foolish Games / You Were Meant for Me in October 1997, pushing it back into the top 10, where it reached number 7. Because of chart methodology at the time, Billboard credited the single under that combined title, landing it at number 2 on the Year-End Hot 100 list for 1997, even though Foolish Games by itself never reached that peak on the weekly chart. Thanks to this, the single also reached number 20 on Billboard's all-time top 100, and it earned a Guinness World Record for the longest chart run on the Hot 100 at the time, totaling 65 weeks. Though this record has since been surpassed. The song also earned Jewel a Grammy nomination for Best Female Pop Vocal Performance. Later, Foolish Games would appear on Jewel's Greatest Hits album as a duet with Kelly Clarkson. Other year-end charts: 1997. Australia, ARIA 47. Canada Adult Contemporary, RPM 20. Netherlands, Single Top 195. Billboard. US Adult Top 40, 12. US Top 40/Mainstream, 17. 1998. Netherlands, Dutch Top 40, 63. Netherlands, Single Top 140. Billboard. US Hot 187. US Adult Top 40, 64. US Mainstream Top 40, 81. Decade-end charts, 1990 to 1999. Billboard, US Hot 167. All-time charts, 1958 to 2018. US Billboard Hot 100, 20. Certifications: Australia, ARIA Gold. Release dates: United States, July 8, 1997, Contemporary Hit Radio. United Kingdom, January 19, 1998, CDE cassette.
Join us as we revisit these unforgettable hits and celebrate the sounds that shaped 1997. Stay tuned for more musical journeys here on Music and Life KM, where music speaks for itself. Number 1.
Candle in the Wind 1997 / Something About the Way You Look Tonight. Year-end position on Billboard Singles Hot 101. Songwriters: Elton John, Bernie Taupin. Producer: George Martin. Release date: September 13, 1997. Genre: pop rock. For the final single in this Top 5 Songs episode, we have none other than British singer-songwriter Sir Elton John, with his historic single, Candle in the Wind 1997, also known as Goodbye England's Rose. This song, written with his longtime collaborator Bernie Taupin, was rewritten and re-recorded as a tribute to Diana, Princess of Wales, based on the original 1973 version of Candle in the Wind. Released in September 1997, the single's global profits were donated to Diana's charities. In many countries, it was issued as a double A-side with Something About the Way You Look Tonight, produced by the legendary George Martin. Following its release, the single entered the UK singles chart at number 1 just a day after hitting the market, staying there for 5 weeks. It became Elton John's 4th UK number 1 single and the best-selling single in the history of the UK. In October, it became his 9th number 1 single in the US Billboard Hot 100, where it stayed at the top for 14 weeks. It was also his last top 40 hit as a solo artist, and remains the best-selling single in Billboard chart history. Notably, it was the first single to be certified diamond in the United States. The single had a similar reception in other regions. In Germany, it stayed at number 1 for 7 weeks on the German singles chart. In Australia, it led for 6 weeks, and it repeated this feat in several other countries. According to the Guinness Book of Records, Candle in the Wind 1997 is the second best-selling physical single of all time, only behind White Christmas by Bing Crosby, 1942. It also holds the title of best-selling single since the start of modern charts in the 1950s. The song earned Elton John the Grammy Award for Best Male Pop Vocal Performance at the 40th Grammy Awards in 1998. At the same year's Brit Awards, it was also nominated for Best British Single. Fun fact, the original 1973 lyrics, written by Taupin, were a tribute to American actress Marilyn Monroe and began with, "Goodbye Norma Jean, though I never knew you at all." For the 1997 version, these were changed to, "Goodbye England's Rose, may you ever grow in our hearts," reflecting the new tribute to Diana. For younger audiences, on August 31, 1997, Princess Diana died in a tragic car accident in Paris. The news deeply affected Elton John, who had been very close to her. Just a month earlier, he had lost another dear friend, fashion designer Gianni Versace, at whose funeral Diana herself was seen comforting Elton. Elton John performed Candle in the Wind 1997 only once, during Princess Diana's funeral at Westminster Abbey on September 6, 1997. After that, he declined to perform it again and returned to performing the original version from the 1970s. The 1997 version has never been included in his compilations or recent albums, nor was it featured in the double album Diana, Princess of Wales, Tribute, 1997, created with Diana's family's agreement and featuring other major artists like Barbra Streisand, Eric Clapton, Paul McCartney, Queen, Celine Dion, and Rod Stewart. However, it was included in the soundtrack album Diana, Princess of Wales, the BBC recording of the funeral service, released on September 30, 1997. In 1997, the single became the fastest-selling in UK history, with over 500,000 copies sold on the first day and more than 1.5 million in the first week. It dethroned the record held for 13 years by Band Aid's Do They Know It's Christmas? In the US, the story was similar. It debuted at number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100 and sold over 3.5 million copies. It stayed at number 1 for 14 consecutive weeks until mid-January 1998, setting a record for the longest run at number 1 by a male solo artist at the time, which today could be interpreted differently given the recognition of non-binary artists. Initially, Billboard listed it as Candle in the Wind 1997, but after November 1st of that year, it began charting under Something About the Way You Look Tonight due to double A-side rules. It was also the only debut to enter the Hot 100 at number 1 and top the Billboard Hot 100 year-end chart, a feat unmatched until 20 years later when Ed Sheeran's Shape of You did the same in 2018. The song spent an additional 35 weeks on the Hot 100, which earned it the number 8 spot on the 1998 year-end chart. It also became one of the rare songs to appear in the top 10 of Billboard's Year-End Hot 100 for 2 different years, along with The Twist, Chubby Checker, How Do I Live, LeAnn Rimes, Closer, The Chainsmokers, and Blinding Lights, The Weeknd. Another interesting point, it was the only single to top the year-end chart of 1 year and start the next year still at number 1 on the weekly chart. It also broke Elton John's personal dry spell at number 1 as a soloist. His last time there had been in 1976 with Don't Go Breaking My Heart, with Kiki D. In Canada, it stayed 3 years inside the top 20, spending 45 non-consecutive weeks at number 1 across the RPM Top Singles chart, first under Candle and later under Something, again due to double A-side rules. In Germany, it became the 8th pop tribute to top the charts, while in Australia it spent 6 weeks at number 1, went 14 times platinum, stayed 56 weeks in the top 100, and became one of the country's best-selling singles ever. In Finland, it holds the record for the best-selling single in chart history. As a curiosity, in France, it was released on September 11th and certified platinum the very next day. There was also a version by the group La Bouche in 1997, included in their album A Moment of Love. Year-end charts. 1997. Australia, Aria 1. Austria, 03 Austria Top 41. Belgium, Ultra Top Flanders 1. Belgium, Ultra Top Wallonia 1. Canada Top Singles, RPM 96. Canada Adult Contemporary, RPM 11. Europe, Eurochart Hot 101. France, SNEP 1. Germany 3. Iceland 38. Netherlands, Dutch Top 40 19. Netherlands, Single Top 101. New Zealand, Recorded Music NZ1. Romania, Romanian Top 140. Sweden 1. Switzerland, 21. UK Singles, Official Charts Company 1. 1998. Austria, 03 Austria Top 49. Europe, Eurochart Hot 131. Germany 91. Sweden 41. Switzerland 28. Billboard US Hot 108. Decade and charts 1990 to 1999. Austria, 03 Austria Top 40 15. Belgium, Ultra Top Flanders 1. Canada, Nielsen Soundscan 1. Netherlands, Dutch Top 40 91. US Billboard Hot 105. All-time charts. Belgium, Ultra Top Flanders 1. Ireland, Number 1. UK Singles, OCC 1. Billboard US Hot 152. Certifications. Australia, ARIA 14 times platinum. Austria, IFPI Austria 6 times platinum. Belgium, BRMA 9 times platinum. Brazil, platinum. Canada, Music Canada 19 times platinum. Czech Republic, IFPI Czech 7 times platinum. Germany, BVMI 9 times platinum. France, SNEP Diamond. Finland, platinum. Japan, RIAJ 2 times platinum. Netherlands, NBPI 6 times platinum. Norway, IFPI Norway 8 times platinum. Poland, CPAV platinum. Spain, 4 times platinum. Sweden, GLF 7 times platinum. Switzerland, IFPI Switzerland 9 times platinum. UK, BPI, Digital Sales 9 times platinum. US, RIA 11 times platinum.
This was a program for Music and Life by Karlos M. Created by Rune KM Productions. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment telling us your favorite song from this list. Until next time. You can also donate on my PayPal, musicandlife.km@gmail.com.